So you guys just came in from playing Jimmy Fallon's show.
Yeah.
What's that like to play a show like that?
It was great. We've been fortunate to get to play a few late night shows, and that was our first time doing Jimmy Fallon, and we loved it. We had a lot of fun. Everybody treated us well. It was really maybe a little bit more laid back and comfortable. The shows can be a little stressful, you know. It's a kind of a different environment than just playing a normal show at a club. So we had a good time. Jimmy and everyone there couldn't have been nicer, and it was fun.
Where is his studio?
At 30 Rock.
It's the old Letterman studio?
It's across the hall from what Conan used to be.
Okay.
When Conan was in that slot.
6B.
Yeah. I don't know all the studios. I guess it's,
That's a big building.
it's huge.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live's on 8H,
okay.
I guess.
Okay.
And I was never in the old Letterman studio, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
I
that
have
one.
no idea.
Okay. Was it a different experience from playing Letterman?
Yeah. We've done a handful of the TV things, and they're all more different than you would probably assume they would be. Even though they're all an hour-long TV show, and we've all seen them, and they all kind of operate in the same fashion. But as far as like being the musical guest, it's kind of all been sort of different experiences. But they're all fun. They're all great fun, but they're all kind of run a little differently. And yesterday, I think we all had maybe the most fun we've ever had. I mean, I think I had the most fun I've ever had on TV.
Was it the host, the crew,
Kind of just everything. I mean, yeah, everything was just really comfortable and easygoing. And maybe also we've done it a few times, so we're not quite as nervous or something. I don't know. But
intimidated by the whole experience?
yeah, because the first time around, I was shaking in my boots. That's for sure. It was nerve-wracking.
Well, you're 3 albums into a career that started, 6-7 years ago now, right? And would I be correct in saying that you're working as an independent artist, even though it's a Dave Matthews label?
I think so, yes.
So let's talk about the Dave Matthews connection. So how did you come to his attention in the beginning?
We had recorded and released and begun touring on our first album, independent of working with anybody. And, we weren't really looking for a record label. No one was really interested in us. And the guys from ATO, we had a good write-up in Rolling Stone, and they caught wind of us. And we were fortunate that some people from the label came down, saw us a few times, and they offered us a deal. And they were just very upfront and very easy people to talk to. They didn't want to change anything about our band. They just wanted to put out the album that we had already put out ourselves and help us continue.
I think the impression I get from the outside is that ATO has let you grow and evolve as a band, like IRS did with REM.
Yeah.
Also coming out of Athens, without anybody really messing with you. Just let you get out there and play and record, figure it out, and just let the band evolve in whatever direction it's going to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes tons of sense.
So what sort of evolution have you seen from the last record to In the Dark? I mean, the band sounds thicker.
Yeah.
To me, you better musicians. There's only 3, so you got to fill in a lot of gaps.
Right. It's better arranged, I think. I think we tried to create a little more space for everything to have its own unique space in the songs, as opposed to everything kind of fighting for the same space. I think that results in what a lot of people think is a bigger sound. It's also a little bit more of a studio effort than than the one before it. We play the songs like we played on Jimmy Fallon last night, 100 Million. It's a little more rough around the edges, and we wanted the album to sound a little different than we sound live, without actually doing anything different, without adding a string section or a horn section or something like that. So
I think the first time I saw you guys on TV, you did Right Hand on My Heart on Letterman.
Right.
And that's when I first went out and bought the record because I liked the sound of that. I thought, okay, this is a cool sounding band. And then it was either 100 Million or Kill Me Caroline that I heard first from the new record. And I was like, wow, there's a jump.
Yeah. Have you heard the first album?
No, I haven't actually.
See, I think that would have it make a little more sense because the first album is a little more eclectic than Mission Control was. And Mission Control is actually, I feel like, pretty eclectic as well. I mean, like Thousand Wives or the song Mission Control aren't, your standard AGD 3-chord rock songs.
Right.
And I feel like In the Dark is kind of a return back to the first album, Give 'Em All Big Fat Lip in a lot of ways. It's a little more eclectic of a record.
All right, I'm going to have to go back and dig that out someplace.
Yeah.
So what are the plans for this record going forward in the rest of 2010? There's got to be a lot of touring.
Yeah, we tour pretty much all the time. So right now, I guess the record just came out a few weeks ago, and we're just in the middle of tour. We're happy. We just came into Canada today, and we have 3 shows, Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal. And we just keep going really through the summer. We have some great tours. We're really excited to go out with the Hold Steady. And we go overseas, and we'll come back, of course, and just keep going. I guess we'll go probably well into the fall and winter and just for the rest of the year and keep supporting it. And that's sort of what we do. I mean, that's what we start a band, is to tour and play in front of people, and that's what we love. So as much as we like making albums, it just gets us back out on the road,
Yeah, it's all about the live show these days.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's making a lot of money selling records.
Right.
But, people expect new music from any band, and you have to put it out somehow. But then, like you say, it gives you an excuse to go out and play and do all the fun and goofy stuff. Has there been anything, as a band that's on the road as much as you, has there been any weird moments that you would either A, tell your kids, or B, hide from your kids?
Man.
There's always that pause after I ask that question.
Yeah.
It takes
It's both a parenting question and
Both Julian and my parents were actually in New York with us yesterday, and there's always things that I have to be careful not to mention around them. Sorry, Mom and Dad. But there's plenty of things that I would love to mention to my parents, too. So,
what about your kids?
my kids and parents, I feel like my parents feel like my kids to me. I don't have kids yet, but the way I feel around I always feel in general that I'm like my behavior might be corrupting them, because they're very sweet, sort of innocent people, and I feel like some of the things that might come out of my mouth might freak them out sometimes. But
I had an interview once in this room, and it was Dexter Holland and Noodles from The Offspring on this couch,
yeah,
and Dexter's mom and dad
yeah.
on that couch.
Oh, wow.
And that was a very strange interview because, they wanted to see what their boy did. So they were here to see, you going to go on an interview? Okay.
Did he talk about his hot sauce?
Yeah, as a matter, he brought me a box of it.
Yeah,
It's pretty
really
good, right?
It's really good. I've actually gone through it all.
Yeah,
we did too.
We had a
We
case
got
of
some
it.
once.
We ate all of it.
We
would taking it into restaurants with it. Like we were on the road, and
Yeah.
we'd literally have it in the van, and we'd go in and we'd have a pot. We'd bring in the Dexter Holland hot sauce.
Well, a big chunk of the interview was, first of all, how did you get into the hot sauce business? And B, where did you get the recipe? And he made it on a stove.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I think
That's
is
good.
I think the story's like on the back of the bottle. You can read it, and it's in his own words too. It's pretty hilarious to read.
Maybe that's what you guys should get into, is some kind of extracurricular marketing of something.
Peanut butter and jelly.
There you go.
We can redefine it
Yeah.
somehow.
The burrito business.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm tired of Kraft and Jif and Squirrel and all those other. Maybe a good peanut butter would be.
Some good
Macaroni and
Whigs
cheese.
peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's coming out soon. It's going to be huge.
We'll be collecting data throughout Canada
Yeah.
the next couple days.
Listen, you're from Georgia, the peanut capital of the world. I
Hey,
mean,
It's true.
That is true.
There's got to be somebody there that could hook you up with, you know, a couple of bushels of shells and and some sugar. And
That's what we're doing for the rest of the year.
A change of plans right
no
now.
more touring. We're concentrating on our extracurricular marketing activities for peanut butter.
Well, good luck with the record. I like the record a
Thanks.
lot. I think
Thank
it's
you.
I like the like I say, the thickness and the bigness of the sounds. And you know, I was blasting 100 million earlier on in the office, and I hope it does really well with you guys because I think the record really rocks.
Thank
Thank
you
you very much.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.